Good evening and welcome to Twilight at Wimbledon. Every night at this time we're going to review the best of the action from SW19. As always, there's been plenty of it today. I'm delighted to be joined this evening by former Wimbledon quarter-finalist Daniela Hanchikova and by Nick McCarville, most respected tennis writer and reporter. Great to be back with you guys. I mean, it looks the same behind us, but there's always a new story. What's captured your imagination and attention on day one?
Oh wow, there's been already so much happening that I don't even know where to start, but I gotta say it just feels so nice to be back here. I mean, this is the time of the year that as a tennis player or as a coach or as a media people, I think there is no other place you want to be right now.
Absolutely. A lot of talk about the new roof on #1 court. No need for that today. Sounds like we might not need it for the entire fortnight.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's sort of the best non-problem to have is no need for the roof, but it was Yuri Vesely who seemingly blew that roof off of that stadium today, the #1 court, Marcus. And to me, the storyline of the day is that anyone who steps on court today, they've got a chance to win a Wimbledon match. It's a great reminder that the underdogs, the qualifiers, the players outside the top 100, they've always got a shot.
But just getting back to the roof, wasn't it the same case with the center court?
Yes.
As soon as there was the roof on, there was not single one drop of rain. So yeah, it's going to be
it's
nice.
a guarantee that you're going to have a dry fortnight. Well, you mentioned Yuri Vesely, and we'll talk about him a little later against Sasha Zverev. But our first featured match focuses on the world #2, Naomi Osaka, who's had a tough time of things of late. She was up against Yulia Putintseva of Kazakhstan, who'd beaten her in their two previous encounters, most recently on the grass courts in Birmingham. Commentary on this one comes from Tracy Austin and Simon Reed.
Well, this match will be decided on Osaka's racket, that's for sure.
And Putinseva's first serve, those second serves will be dismissed.
Yeah, good move. Osaka patient, biding her time, taking the opportunity, and she goes 2-1.
Let for service.
Wow. Two clutch serves to save two break points. One more.
30-40.
Now, she did such a good job of soaking up the Osaka power, and she deserves to be back on level terms.
Incredible point from Putintseva.
You knew she was going to go for it, but it fails again, and here are 3 set points for the Kazakhstani.
3, Putintseva.
that time. Almost like Osaka thinks if she hits harder, it will solve the problem.
Yes.
6-4. Putintseva.
Power without the consistency is not going to work.
Again, way wide. Almost exactly an hour we've been going, and we could have a huge shock here on the first day of Wimbledon. So it's break point for Putintseva now.
That's really going to hurt Osaka's confidence on that backhand side. A neutral ball mistake.
Miss Putintseva is showing the call
They're
on
both
the
challenging.
right far side line. The ball was called out.
Just got the edge. Oh boy. She didn't think she'd got it, but she has. You rarely see that. So there's the break.
Putintseva leads
And
3
Osaka's
games to 2
problems
second sets.
get
And by
deeper.
1 set to love. (30-40).
So this could virtually wrap it up. Away it goes, and she may follow it out of the tournament. Putintseva, a double break to the good.
Osaka had never been past the 3rd round at Wimbledon. And now to come in as the number 2 seed with so many expectations, that's tough to live with also. On a surface Osaka's not comfortable with yet.
And that was a long way off.
30-15.
Not now. They were okay in the first set, but not in the second.
15.
2 match points for Yulia Putintseva of Kazakhstan.
(40-30).
The biggest win of her career. And didn't she love the big stage? But the big story is Naomi Osaka, the US Open champion, has been beaten by this 24-year-old from Kazakhstan. And that smile will take a lot of wiping off. You have to feel for Osaka. But grass isn't her surface. It may become her surface, but it isn't yet.
Yeah, a wonderful win for Yulia Putintseva. Naomi Osaka not waiting for her opponent, couldn't wait to get off court. And obviously, guys, she's #2 in the world, so it has to be considered a surprise. Having said that, Putintseva now beaten her 3 times out of 3.
Yeah, exactly. So, honestly, to me personally, it didn't surprise me because Putintseva has the perfect game against Naomi and against anyone. To play against Putintseva is just so awkward because she's little, the ball doesn't bounce too high, so you have to do a lot of squatting during the match. But to me, Naomi just looks a little bit lost out there these days. I just feel like she needs a little bit more structure back in her game and tactically get on point, because at the moment she only has a plan A. If that's not working, she just tries to hit harder and harder, and that's not necessarily the way to go in matches. So I just feel like she needs to reassess some things now. The good thing is she's going to have plenty of time now to think about how she wants to move on now for the second part of the season.
Her irritation was fairly evident as that match developed, actually from quite an early stage in the first set, and perhaps that's a reflection of what you're saying. She's just a little mixed up after so much success. Inevitably you bottom out a bit, and now it's a case of how she does.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just been that struggle since really the US Open, and she figured it out during Australia of how to dig out. I mean, she dug through a lot of tough wins in Australia, but since then, since becoming world #1, she just hasn't necessarily found that next level. She's got that big target on her back. And I think for her, she was asked in press about it after, how do you play your best tennis? And her answer was that I have to have fun, which I think is a good answer in a sense, but also it's a job. It's hard work, and there's just not all of that chemistry. All of the math isn't coming together for her right now. But I mean, you've got to now look at this part of the draw too for Sophia Kenin, the young American. She's the highest seed there. You also had Sabalenka go out in this part of the draw. So big opportunity now for a lot of the women.
But going back to having fun on the court, you can do that when you know you have the right tactics, when you know that you're working on the right things in practice. And I just feel like she's not comfortable with whatever she's doing between the tournaments, how she's preparing, and then that affects her. So yes, everyone says go ahead, have fun out there and don't really care. Well, it's Wimbledon, you want to do well. You're on center court, so you can have fun as long as you know you're playing your best tennis.
It's easier said than done. It's Victoria Golubic next for Putintseva, who's a tough competitor. I mean, she doesn't mind getting in your face a little bit. If things are going against you, she's probably the last person you want to try and deal with.
Definitely. So I don't think I ever played a match against her, but I remember practicing with her, and it was intense. I thought, you know, I was glad that we shook hands at the end, because that's how competitive it is, and it's good for her because she's just never gonna give it to you, and she's not really afraid to play any big names, and that's why this was always going to be a dangerous match for Naomi.
Okay, well, our second featured match is Yuri Vesely, 108 in the world, 25 years of age. He came through qualifying last week, up against Sasha Zverev, the world #5, seeded 6. He's only 22 years of age. We know what he can do, but this had the look of a potential upset about it. In the commentary box, Tim Henman and Andrew Cotter.
Suddenly from 40 love, Vesely pegged back.
Deuce.
Zverev just 2 points away from this first set.
Advantage, Zverev.
Had an opportunity with that first forehand after the serve. Vesely didn't do enough with it. Zverev was able to establish himself in the point, and the unforced error came.
And from a comfortable position, Vesely suddenly very uncomfortable. Set point, Zverev. And there it is, given away. The slip comes from Yuri Vesely, and Sasha Zverev, the #5 seed, takes the first set. Oh, he's finding his range now, Vesely.
Love 30.
Through one of those periods in the match where things come off, get into a rhythm. And look at this now.
Love 40.
Zverev looks a spent force in this second set. 3 set points for Yuri Vesely. Touch from Zverev on that occasion.
$15-40.
Just died over the net. Still 2 set points for Vesely. Oh, there it is.
Second set, Vesely.
Zverev, a frustrated man, but Yuri Vesely, what a response.
6 games to 3. 1 set all.
That's good running, good touch as well in the end from Yuri Vesely.
Love 15. $15 all. $15-30. $15-40.
And this match continues to slip away from Alexander Zverev. 2 set points now for Yuri Vesely. And the game of Zverev continues to crumble. Vesely goes from strength to strength. He takes this third set. He takes a 2 sets to 1 lead.
2-2.
And even greater trouble now
leads
for the number
2
6
sets
seed.
to 1.
That's where it's been for the last hour and a half or so. And again, Zverev quick out of the chair.
Time.
Serving to stay in the match, stay in the tournament.
Alex Zverev, a man of 11 titles on tour. Big titles as well, but pressure on his serve here. And what an ugly start.
Love 15.
Beautifully played by Jiri Vesely, and he's closing in on a place in the second round, nearing this upset.
Love 30.
Had that backhand in the middle of the rally, and he hit a good shot, and you felt like he was going to come to the net. He stayed back and then played a very good, delicate drop shot.
Thank you. Players are ready. Thanks.
He needs to call upon in these moments of crisis. Big first serve.
15-30.
Oh, what a time to slip. A frustrated
15-40.
thwack of the shoes, and match points for Jiri Vesely. The number 6 seed in the men's singles on the edge. 2 match points for Jiri Vesely.
Let for serve.
Oh no! And Zverev is gone. What a win for Jiri Vesely. The upset is complete. And the number 6 seed is gone at the hands of Jiri Vesely. He's had great days at Wimbledon before, perhaps none greater than this, seeing off Alexander Zverev in the first round. And seeing him off so well.
4-6, 6-3, 6-2, 7-5.
And we say an upset, perhaps, though what has gone before this season should tell us it is not, because Zverev has been out of sorts and he never really looked comfortable today on court number 1. And Vesely thoroughly deserving of his victory.
Well, what a few days it has been for Jiri Vesely, coming through qualifying and now causing a bit of an upset. How big an upset was that one, though, for you, Daniela?
Well, that was a little bit bigger than Naomi and Puniceva, but yeah, I just felt like Sasha never really found any rhythm on that court, and he usually played a very smart game, and obviously also playing against lefty in the first round of a Grand Slam, that's the last thing you want to face, and having all those matches in the qualifying just gave him the belief and confidence that he can do it today.
Zverev appears to be having a few issues off court. That looks as though it's having its effect on court now.
Yeah, and he just said that he hasn't trusted himself in the big moments, and that's what tennis is, those little moments, that 1 point, those break points. You could see there at the end of the match he served to stay in that 4th set, to try to serve into a tiebreak and then a 5th set. And those are the margins that these top players are playing at. He just needs to right his ship that way. He's going to get his body right, and then mentally, hopefully, he'll be ready for the second part of the season.
Yeah, we saw what Zverev can do across London last November at the ATP World Tour Finals. The criticisms will continue to come at him in slams until he gets deeper than a quarter-final.
I know, I think we are a little bit hard on himself, though. I tried to defend him in Paris as well, because he just won Geneva, and we were still talking about, well, when he's going to do it in a slam. And obviously, we have those expectations because of all the talent he's got, and I still believe, you know, his time's going to come, and let's just hope he can sort out all the things he has to deal with off the court, and that he will be able to fulfill all his potential because he's so good for the game.
And of course, we shall now see if Jiri Vesely can kick on from here. You beat one big gun, but now you've got to take full advantage of that if the draw opens up for you. What a picture Wimbledon has been, as always. Plenty of stories on day 1, and of course there will be plenty more during the course of the fortnight.